Ladies and gentlemen, I need to make sure and give a disclaimer really quick with this particular video. And we're going to talk about this story and show this video to spread awareness about how serious these issues are when it comes to how we as mothers and fathers, biological mothers and biological fathers deal with each other, how sensitive these situations are, how important it is for us to choose good, suitable mates for us to create children with, for us to be careful who we bring our children around, the type of pressure that we apply as fathers on the mothers and mothers on the fathers. We have to be so careful because our children are caught in the middle. They are the ones who cannot speak for themselves nor defend themselves against the tyranny of their caretakers. And what we want to do is we want to use this for educational purposes to make sure that we can help alleviate and eliminate these situations. I would love to get to a point where these type of things don't happen. There is a very gut-wrenching video that I want to play for you guys and show you this. Definitely got to give you a disclaimer before we get there. But this video is basically showing a moment where this father mentally broke down and he was talking about ending his life and ending his children's life, even though we don't see what he actually did on camera. I want to make sure that we're very clear about that because I don't want to get flagged for this video. Flat out, I don't. And I think that's about as well put as we could make it. Now, some people might find my content controversial or offensive. The information in this video is coming from many different sources, including official court records and police charges. Video commentary also contains my personal opinion about the facts of the story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And also because you're going to hear audio that might rock your emotions to the core. So I would ask that if you have small children, leave this video. Hell, if I have to put it on 18 plus, if I got to put it on a parental restriction, and I will. But I think everybody who's heard my words before we even talk about this can handle it. This story comes out of Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is not only going to take a big L, but it saddens me because I'm originally from Oklahoma to hear something like this. It happened in a neighborhood that I'm not really familiar with. It happened like way on the west side of Oklahoma City. But I think it was just because of where he drove and stopped his car. A father is suspected, and I'm getting this information from lawandcrime.com, so thank you for the article. But a father is suspected of killing his 3 young children and then himself, according to local reports out of Oklahoma City. Now, initially, they didn't put his name out there, but I'm going to go ahead and put his name out there since the police already released it. So his name is Francois Littlejohn. He has a middle name, but I'm going to just not even worry about the middle name for now. Francois' name is spelled Francoise, Littlejohn, spelled as it sounds. So you ought to be able to find that pretty easily. He's 29 years old or was 29 years old. And police did not immediately identify the people involved, only saying that the kids were younger than ages 7, but I actually have their ages and names also. So the children, so this is a little bit of an update for those who might not have caught this. The children's names and ages are 3-year-old Trinity Littlejohn, 4-year-old Aaliyah Littlejohn, and 6-year-old Karen Littlejohn. Officers reportedly said they told the mother as soon as they could about the discovery of these bodies. This is a tragic situation, according to Oklahoma City Police Captain Michelle Henderson. A lot of emotions are involved, so we always want to be very cognizant and aware and sympathetic to that and make sure that nobody finds out on the TV or on social media before we have a chance to speak to someone. And sometimes we kind of beat them to the punch. I'm guilty of that. Police reportedly said that they received a request for a welfare check at around 4:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. Dad had left the house with his 3 small children, made threatening statements So we were in the area for several hours looking for him and the children, Henderson said, according to the news outlet KWTV. The search ended in tragedy at about 7:30 a.m. A woman walking her dogs encountered a parked vehicle about a half-mile away from where the father and children lived. When I went over there, I knew something was off already because the guy's car was running and it was parked 3 feet from the curb, the woman who requested anonymity told the outlet. It was on the right side of the road, but it was just odd. The man did not move as she passed by multiple times, she said. He simply reclined in the vehicle. Wow. I didn't start to suspect that that maybe the guy wasn't alive in the car, so I went to the passenger side where the window was cracked only a little bit in case he was drunk or belligerent. When I went over to the window, it didn't cross my mind that anybody else was in the car. It was when she got closer that she spotted blood under the vehicle. When I saw blood, I didn't go any further, she said. I didn't need to see what was in there, and I'm pretty sure that probably would have gave her nightmares. So again, I want y'all to remember that it involved 3 children and the father. Oh, he'll give the motive in the video, so I'm going to just let that play. The woman's voice shook in the scene. It's sad that anybody gets to the point that they got to take themselves out, but to take 3 kids out, she said, many of us didn't want to believe that's what really happened here. That's the short end of it. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I'm going to give a lot for you to think about after this video is over. It's relatively short, but I am warning you. Brace yourselves. Put your diapers on. Actually, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Here we go.
Hey, this shit's so fun. Look at my son right here. I just told him I'm finna kill his ass. You hear me? That's fucking fucked up, cuz, on my soul, nigga. But see, everybody think I'm joking, right? I'm playing, right? Everybody think I'm fucking playing, right? Right, okay. This gonna be the last time. This be the last video I make. Nigga, God rest my soul. Wook, Ovia Foreman, you are responsible for your part in this too. You chose to be a destroyer, right? It's okay, fine. You hold this, take this with you. Tater, wow. Wow, nigga! After everything I gave you, cuz. After everything, all I wanted was a conversation, nigga. I told you, nigga. All you had to do was talk to me, nigga. All I wanted was conversation. That's it. I wanted you to be woman enough to look me in my fucking eyes, nigga. After 13 years of my life, nigga, I'm giving to you. Nigga, and cut me loose. Look me in my face and break me loose, nigga. Look, break my heart. Look me in my eyes and break my heart, nigga. But you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You want to go lay up with niggas and get fucked and nigga, whatever the case. You're slick, my nigga. You lied, my nigga. You're a habitual cheater, my nigga. And you have given yourself to men. You have given me STD behind this shit. Like, I'm not paranoid, cuz. You hear me? You fucked other niggas recklessly. I forgave you for it. You won't even come home, baby. You won't even come home like I'm a sucker. So watch this, Gayla. Watch this. Yeah. And carry this torch, baby. And no, I gave you a choice, and you chose this. Oh, you're so scared, right? Okay. Hey, this shit's so fun. Look at my son right here. I just told him I'm finna kill his ass. You hear me? That's fucking fucked up, cuz, on my soul, nigga. But see, everybody think I'm joking, right? I'm playing, right? Everybody think I'm fucking playing, right? Right, okay. This gonna be the last time. This be the last video I make. Nigga, God rest my soul. Wook, Over foreman, you are responsible for your part in this too. You chose to be a destroyer, right? It's okay, fine. You hold this, take this with you. Tater, wow, nigga. After everything I gave you, cuz. After everything, all I wanted was a conversation, nigga. I told you, nigga. All you had to do was talk to me, nigga. All I wanted was conversation. That's it. I wanted you to be woman enough to look me in my fucking eyes, nigga. After 13 years of my life, nigga, I'm giving to you, nigga, and cut me loose. Look me in my face and break me loose, nigga. Look, break my heart. Look me in my eyes and break my heart, nigga. But you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You want to go lay up with niggas and get fucked and nigga, whatever the case. You're slick, my nigga. You lied, my nigga. You're a habitual cheater, my nigga. And you have given yourself to men. You have given me STD behind this shit. Like, I'm not paranoid, cuz. You hear me? You fucked other niggas recklessly. I forgave you for it. You won't even come home, baby. You won't even come home like I'm a sucker. So watch this, Gayla. Watch this. Yeah. And carry this torch, baby. And no, I gave you a choice. And you chose this. Oh, you're so scared, right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can see this memorial here for all three of those children. Just really tough to take in. But police actually say they were in the middle of issuing an Amber Alert, but by the time they were found, it was too late.
I still feel sick about it.
The jogger was running by, noticed the vehicle there, notified police. Officers went to the scene, discovered the 4 bodies.
4 bodies. Of the 4, 3 young children, all under the age of 6. The 4th, a father who police say killed his kids.
He had apparently gone on to social media. He was live broadcasting, making threats about harming himself and harming children.
That's when police received a call at 4:14 a.m. Saturday to be on the lookout.
At some point, sadly, he executed the 3 children he had in his car, his own children, and then turned the gun on himself, killing himself.
Police say they were in the process of issuing an Amber Alert and had multiple resources looking for the kids, but when the car was found 3 hours later, it was too late.
There's no history on his part of this type of behavior. We had received a call recently to that address involving a possible domestic disturbance. At that point, there was really no cooperating person, so there was really nothing that could be done.
And guys, I do want to note here that the father actually lived with the children, so he did not kidnap them, but there is still no motive.
Tonight, we are learning more about a father who police says killed his 3 children and then himself. A jogger discovered the family inside of a car in West Oklahoma City neighborhood this morning. News 4's Taylor Mitchell is in the newsroom. Taylor, you talked to this jogger and also neighbors.
That's right, Adria. Police tell us all of the children are under the age of 7, and they were missing for about 7 hours before that jogger found them. Officers telling News 4 they were called to the family's home just after midnight, but the dad had taken the kids and made threats.
We were in the area for several hours looking for him and the children. A walker here in this neighborhood discovered his vehicle and called 911 because of what was seen inside.
That woman discovered the body.
Cleaning up and everything. So.
The 2 ladies telling News 4 it's shocking to see this happen in their neighborhood.
This is a nice area and like a lot of people know each other.
It's been very quiet here the 5 years I've been here.
Earlier today, I watched as crime scene investigators pulled items out of the family's home. Right now, they have not told us the name of the father or the children. We do know their mother has been told what happened, and I'm told we'll get more details on Monday morning. In the newsroom, Taylor Mitchell, Oklahoma's News 4.
All right. Are you guys ready for some perspective? Most people should be here because you want to hear. If you just want to hear the news video, then this is the wrong place to hear it. You can go to any of these news channels, KOCO or Law and Crime. There's so many places you can go to just hear the news story. Most people are here to hear my opinions about this story because I think I have some insight that I believe not only to explain how this got to this point, but to also explain ways where maybe we can avoid this thing going forward. I sincerely hope y'all are ready for this because I'm going to be speaking from the heart. I'm going to be speaking even a little bit from my personal perspective. Here we go. First and foremost, let's talk about the fact that us creating children, I think that us having children, I don't believe that they were married. And a lot of us are having children outside of wedlock, which means we didn't make a commitment to each other, but we're making a commitment to children, which means we're making a commitment to instability. Regardless of whether they live together or not, I'm making an assumption based on the fact that they were not married. But I don't know that for a fact. But I believe that they were not married, because that's the way that most of us get down nowadays. We shack up, we cohabitate, we make kids. That's just what we do in our society. So that's not an uncommon thing. The reason why I bring that up is to say that with these children being unplanned, and we don't make a solid plan for these children, that brings stress. Children cost money. They are financial. We need to be financially responsible when we have children, because they're going to cost us, and that can inflict a lot of stress on a person. That could stress a mother out. That could stress a father out. Okay. So I'm sure that was what a lot of their arguing was for, especially knowing even if they were married, a lot of marriages dissolve. And the number one reason why people get divorced is because of finances. So I'm pretty sure that they probably, if they were cohabitating, they're probably having financial issues, especially having 3 children. And with him being under the age of 30, I can only imagine how old she was. I'm assuming she was either his age or maybe even a little bit younger than him. But like I said, we don't know the details on the mom. Not that it even really matters, okay? So another thing that I want to bring up. Somebody in the chat asked, was the mother seeing another guy? And the answer, I believe, is yes. Want to know why I believe that the mother was probably seeing somebody else? And there's a high probability that's the case. Because this man took it serious enough to say it on a video, to cry about it, to be emotional about it, to be mad about it, and to be violent about it. To murder and kill his own children, to watch them die behind your actions, and then to turn around and take your own life. To me, that signifies that that man had evidence that, yes, that's what she did, was cheat on him. He said that he had been with this girl. I think he said he gave up, 13 years of his life. And when you talk about men making a commitment to something, men, when we commit to something, we commit wholeheartedly, which is why it can be damaging, especially for men and women, for us to be damaged emotionally as kids and younger teenagers and adults, and people misuse and abuse our trust. It can cause us to be emotionally damaged. You know, we get to a point that we need counseling before we start having kids. How about that? Most people need counseling before they have children. When you talk about Planned Parenthood should just be a place where you go down there and you decide, oh, I don't want to have this kid, and we gonna have us an abortion. Planned Parenthood should be for anybody and everybody who plan to have children. Because we don't have a solid plan for having children, which is why all of the abuse is really high, which is why the murders are really high. And this is why parents can't properly raise their children, and their children end up being caught up in these wild and violent situations. Who knows why this man was being cheated on? I don't know that to even be a fact, but I'm assuming behind. Yeah, he said he had an STD. Yeah, he said he caught an STD behind her, which he's trying to imply that he wasn't sleeping around and she got whatever she got from another person, which STDs are running around rampant. So if you're sleeping with people unprotected, that type of thing happens all the time. Young folks is out here catching STDs like they catching feelings. They in and out of them all the time, right? Let's talk about this little thing called child support. We've talked about relationships. We've talked about living in the home. We talked about not having a plan. We can even talk about the financial difficulties of child support and providing for these kids. I'm assuming that if they were living together, he probably wasn't on child support, but that's always a fear that if a couple breaks up, that's the number one thing that a lot of custodial parents, and in a lot of cases, usually the mothers who end up with the custody, it's usually the way it works, that they turn around and have that fear of that ceiling being over their heads, that proverbial ceiling of child support, which can be a heavy burden to carry. And not everybody is strong enough to be able to deal with that. You see a lot of people, like we've heard about situations, y'all have heard about situations where even police officers and married situations, when they get divorced and things go awry. And I think there was one story in Dallas where a police officer ended up murdering his children because him and his wife got a divorce. It's a very emotional, high emotional thing. And people are not thinking rationally. He was being selfish in this moment and only thinking of himself. And he decided, because he wasn't thinking with his logical side, that my life is over and their life is going to be over too. And I don't think that's right, regardless of if you feel like somebody, did you wrong to the fullest extent. That still does not make this right. That's also why I believe that people who are in this child support whirlwind, and so I'll look into the camera when I say this, while we also need to be careful about just constantly involving a third party in these situations. Number one, because that person that you're doing that to or putting that burden on might feel some type of way and want to take it to an extent that doesn't need to be taken to. It could cause a person not to want to be there at all. It could cause a person to be toxic, act in a bad way, say bad things, which can also emotionally, physically, spiritually harm a child. It could also financially harm a person where they can't even not only take care of themselves, but they damn sure can't take care of the kids. And then then it becomes null and void. Then that person becomes a waste at that point. A non-beneficial parent. And in this world, we need both parents to be powerful entities to raise children. Hello? I'm going to say that again. We need biological mothers and biological fathers to be powerful entities, stable entities, and be ready to take care of and raise children. They cannot be at odds like this. I want y'all to also think about this. There's absolutely no reason for this woman to have created all these children with this man and for her to feel like she still needs to go get her sexual pleasures out there in the world, which means you shouldn't have had kids from the jump. So why are we doing this? Children are a choice. They're not a blessing. They're a choice. We are choosing to bring children into this world. Against their will. It is our choice. And if we're not ready to have kids, if we still feel the need to be out here sleeping around, and we don't, and we might not be completely happy with the person that we're with, then we need to be thinking about that stuff before we decide, you know what, let's go ahead and start procreating. Because in this world where you don't have to have children, you're not forced to have children, there's no reason for it to get to this point. If he's talking about an STD, and I tend to believe him if he took it to this extent, then that would have meant that the baby mom was having unprotected sex. And you'd have to ask, why? Why? Why risk yourself? Clearly, your body is able to produce kids even if the condom breaks. You can still get pregnant. Then you're talking about now having a second baby daddy if you get pregnant unless you have an abortion. Why would you take a risk like that? Because we're being selfish. That's why. This all got to this point because everybody involved was selfish. And the children suffered for it. I look in the camera and I present these stories after story after story after story, and begging and pleading and hoping that eventually God will bless the ears that are listening, that I'm trying to prevent these things going forward. And I pray with every breath in my body that people will start listening and stop using the powers that be against each other. Sex is a very powerful thing. It's an emotional thing. It is a spiritual thing. We are not meant to have sex with a whole bunch of people. I'm telling you from personal experience. It can damage you. It can ruin you. We aren't meant to procreate with a bunch of people. We aren't meant to have children all over the fucking place. We are meant to settle down with each other in a stable environment. If you look at how we raise families between the 1900s, the 10s, the 20s, 30s, 40s, and even a little bit of the 50s and 60s, and our families tend to thrive a hell of a lot better when we have our children in stability under one roof and believe in that family construct, that social construct of marriage. I'm not saying everybody needs to get married, but I think that maybe we need to start reconsidering the way that we're doing things, because the route that we're going right now is not a good place to go. I could do these stories every day, multiple times a day, and I would never run out of stories. I pray and hope that one day there won't be any stories like this for me to talk about. And then we could go talk about some silly crap like some celebrity news or some video games or some bull crap like that. But as long as these things are happening, I'm going to use every breath of my body to continue to speak a message of love and respect and putting children first and putting ourselves last and thinking about how we're creating our legacies. For us to stop being selfish and to start loving each other and having more respect for each other. Even at this point, if you didn't already had kids out here outside of wedlock, I at this point, I would rather just say, you know what? Let's come together. Let's do this together, and let's do what's best for that kid, because I would love to see them grow up and become something great. I hate reporting on these stories. Definitely not going to play this video again. But I will make sure that you guys have an opportunity to leave comments and let me know what you guys think. Well, post your comments in there. That's what it's for. Let's have a conversation about this. We got to start being more honest and more open about this stuff. To those lost souls, RIP to those babies. RIP.